They predicted a presidency. They predicted global crises. And now, well, they've already told us exactly who wins the 2026 FIFA World Cup. And trust me, the answer is something practically nobody saw coming. We're jumping right in today because we're looking at what is absolutely the most bizarre yet terrifyingly accurate track record in modern television history. You know, if you think sports are purely unpredictable, you might really want to rethink that after we unpack the sheer impossibility of what a cartoon managed to forecast well over a decade ago. Stay with me because this explainer is literally going to blow your mind.
But hey, before we get into the soccer of it all, let me just remind you exactly why we take this animated oracle so seriously. I mean, this show's been running since 1989, right? And over those decades, it hasn't just made vague guesses. It has predicted highly specific real-world events with a terrifying level of accuracy. Donald Trump becoming president, predicted. 2 consecutive Super Bowl wins for a specific team? Yep, they called it. A global pandemic? Nailed it. The exact result of the ICC Hockey Championship? Already done. Guys, these aren't just random coincidences anymore. These are established patterns. And when this show talks, well, the internet inevitably listens.
Okay, let's dive straight into this. Season 25, Episode 14.
So this episode from 2014 is the exact moment where the characters actually start discussing the future of international soccer. And it's not just a passing joke, it's a very specific setup for the ultimate soccer mystery. Let's trace the timeline here, because this is where the bizarre specificity of the writers really shines. The episode airs in 2014. Now, think about it. If you're writing a joke about a future World Cup, the logical step is to pick the next one, right? Like 2018 or maybe 2022. But they didn't do that. They intentionally skipped right over multiple World Cup tournaments and landed exactly on the year 2026. The target prophecy is the tournament happening right now. They aimed a full decade into the future. And what exactly did they show when they looked into that 2026 crystal ball?
They showed this massive shocker. Cristiano Ronaldo is still on the pitch. I mean, think about the lifespan of an average professional soccer player for a second. Forecasting that any specific player will still be actively competing at the highest possible international level 12 years into the future? That is completely absurd. That part alone was enough to absolutely break the internet when fans rediscovered this clip. But actually, that is just the beginning of the whole story.
Now, what's really interesting about this prediction is the chilling accuracy of the math. The writers didn't just casually guess he'd be playing, they locked in his exact age during this specific 2026 tournament. 41 years old. They did the math all the way back in 2014, projected it forward to 2026, and definitively stated that a 41-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo would be lacing up his boots for his country. It's a level of precision that goes way beyond just a lucky guess.
Which brings us to the 2026 final matchup.
Because the real story here, the thing that has literally everyone talking right now, isn't just who is playing, it's who makes it to the very end. Here is your grand reveal for the 2026 World Cup final, straight from the minds of the writers. We have Portugal, which obviously makes sense because Ronaldo's leading his squad, facing down Mexico. The show predicts Mexico will make a completely historic run as a co-host nation, leveraging that massive home soil advantage to battle their way all the way to the final match. It's 2 powerhouse narratives colliding on the biggest stage imaginable.
And according to the episode, here is your grand finale. Portugal wins. Ronaldo, at 41 years old, finally lifts the World Cup. It is the absolute climax of the episode's prediction and the ultimate resolution to his entire career. The one major trophy that has always escaped him in real life is finally his.
So, could it actually happen? Let's do a quick reality check. Now look, let's be real for a second and ground this mystery. It's super fun to look at a cartoon from 2014, but we need to look closely at the current state of the actual tournament today. Could this animated prophecy actually translate into real-world sports history? Well, this brilliantly illustrates why this prediction is keeping people awake at night. The 2014 prediction said Ronaldo plays at age 41. The current 2026 reality, Ronaldo is 41 right now, he's still playing, and he is still scoring goals. The prediction said Mexico hosts. The reality? Mexico literally is a co-host nation for this exact tournament. The prediction puts Portugal in the final. The reality? Portugal is currently operating as one of the strongest top-tier squads in the entire tournament. So, is it completely impossible? No way. Is it the most likely outcome? Well, that's debatable. But the show didn't just get the year right, they got the teams right, they got the context of the host nation right, and they got his exact age right.
If this actually plays out, we're literally watching a cartoon that debuted in 1989, writing a real-world sports fairy tale. It would undoubtedly be the greatest comeback story in football history. Just imagine the narrative weight of that. A legendary player, at the absolute tail end of his career, defying his age and his critics, to secure the one piece of hardware missing from his legendary resume, exactly as it was drawn up in an animation studio over a decade prior.
So the crucial point is this. We're left with two distinct possibilities when looking at this undeniable alignment of facts. This is either the single greatest, most mathematically improbable coincidence in the entire history of television programming, or the writers just knew something we didn't. Maybe they saw the trajectory of the sport, the stamina of the player, and the logistics of the tournament, and they just mapped it out perfectly.
So here's the question I'm leaving you with as we wrap up this explainer. Do you think the prophecy is going to hold true this time? Is Portugal genuinely going all the way to the end? Is Ronaldo about to write the most unbelievable final chapter of his career on the global stage? Or is there another team out there that's going to shatter the prediction and completely shock the world? I really want to know what you think. Drop your World Cup winner prediction in the comments right now because I'll be reading every single one. And hey, if Portugal actually wins this whole thing, you've got to make sure you come back to this explainer because the cartoon called it first and we laid out all the evidence right here. Thanks so much for joining me to unpack this fascinating mystery.